Actual Test Set 1. This is the listening section of the Toefl Junior Practice Test. The listening section has 42 questions. Follow along as you listen to the directions to the listening comprehension section. Directions. In this section of the test, you will hear a teacher or other school staff member talking to students. Each talk is followed by one question. Choose the best answer to each question and mark the letter of the correct answer on your answer sheet. You will hear each talk only one time. Here is an example.
Listen to a principal making an announcement.
With summer officially starting next week, I'd like to remind you all of the school Sun Smart policy. During recess and lunchtime, as well as during physical education classes outside, all students must wear a hat or cap. If you forget to bring a hat, there are some spares available in the staff room. Have a good weekend and see you next week.
What is the purpose of the announcement?
Now, read the answer choices. The correct answer is A, to remind students about a policy. Here is another example.
Listen to a teacher talking to a class. It's Friday afternoon, everyone, and that means it's time to clean the classroom. Could students in the front row take the trash out to the dumpster? Second row students pick up any trash that's on the floor. The third row, you're responsible for putting everything away, and the fourth row for wiping down the tables and windows. Let's get busy. What will students probably do next?
Now, read the answer choices. The correct answer is A, clean their classroom. Go on to the next page, and the test will begin with question number 1.
Number 1. Listen to a principal making an announcement at school.
We would like to announce some changes to the school cafeteria menu. For better health, sodas and colas will no longer be for sale. Instead, we have some extra juices. We have also discontinued hamburgers and hot dogs and brought in some new choices of sandwich. Please enjoy the new foods and let us know how they are. Thank you.
What is the purpose of the announcement? Number 2. Listen to a principal making an announcement at school. You have probably noticed some construction going on at the back of the school. The school is expanding and getting better and better, and as such, we are building some more classrooms. Please stay away from the building areas and play in other areas. We hope the buildings will be completed by spring. Thank you. What is probably true about the school? Number 3. Listen to a drama teacher making an announcement to students.
The end-of-the-year drama production will be a story from Shakespeare called Hamlet. If anyone is interested in performing or helping backstage, please come to the meeting and audition at lunchtime on Thursday in the hall. We would love to have anyone and everyone involved. Let me now hand out some information about the play.
What will the students do next? Number 4. Listen to a principal making an announcement at a school. This is just a message to be careful. In recent days, a stray dog has been entering the school grounds to look for food. Some students have apparently been feeding it. The dog may well be dangerous, so if you do happen to see it, don't try to play or interact with it. Instead, tell a teacher so we can call the dog pound. Above all, please don't feed him. Thank you. Why does the principal mention the dog? Number 5. Listen to a teacher talking to a student.
Vera, I remember you played in the chess club last year, and so I just wanted to give you a heads up that it has started this year again. The club is meeting every Tuesday at lunchtime in room 604, and guess what? They have some brand new handmade chessboards as well as some chess clocks.
What is the purpose of the talk? Number 6. Listen to a science teacher talking to a class. One of the most important things in the science room is safety. When you come into the science room, please put on the safety goggles, even if you're not doing any experiments. Please also remember to put on a lab coat and act responsibly at all times. Safety first, and let's all enjoy science. Where are the students most likely located? Number 7. Listen to a teacher talking to a class.
Everyone, we're going to start a geography project. What you have to do is plan a holiday in at least 3 countries. Describe the countries, including the places, cities, and landmarks that you'll visit on your holiday, and what things you will do there. Plan a wonderful trip. At the end of the month, submit your project and get ready to present it to the class.
What is the purpose of the talk? Number 8. Listen to a teacher talking to a student. I can see that your basketball went onto the roof. It's pretty dangerous to climb up on the roof, so why don't you get another basketball from the storage room? I will tell the maintenance man to pick up the basketball when he can. Don't worry, we'll get your basketball down in the next few days. What will the student probably do next? Number 9. Listen to a teacher talking to a class.
I'd now like to direct your attention to the big calendar on the wall. All of the months have a different number of days, don't they? There's a very good reason for that. A long time ago, all the months had just 30 days, and so the year was only 360 days long. Because of that, the seasons started to change, and eventually summer became winter, and winter became summer. So now, the calendar looks like this one on the wall.
What is the main subject of the talk? Number 10. Listen to a teacher talking to a class. Does anyone know why today is a special day? It's a special day because tonight at 8:01 there will be an eclipse of the moon. This is also called a lunar eclipse. What this means is that at 8:01 the moon will pass between Earth's shadow. The good news is it's safe to look at a lunar eclipse without eye protection. Solar eclipses, however, are much more dangerous to view. What is true about the eclipse?
Now you will hear some conversations. Each conversation will be followed by 3 or more questions. Choose the best answer to each question and mark the letter of the correct answer on your answer sheet. You will hear each conversation only one time.
Questions 11 through 14. Listen to a conversation between a student and a teacher at school. Hi, Brian. I see you're about to throw away your paper cup. Why throw it away so early?
Because I've had a drink with it already. I don't think it's any good to me now.
You could save that paper cup, and when you have another drink later on, it would be possible to use it again. That way, in a small way, you can help the environment.
But I've already used it. Isn't a paper cup a cup that you can use only once?
Yes and no. You can't reuse it over and over again, but it is your paper cup. You could leave it next to your desk and give it one more try later. How about it?
It's a nice idea, Mrs. Canale, but no one else is doing it, so I don't know why I should do it. Everybody has just one drink, and then they throw away their paper cup.
Come and have a look at my desk. Do you see this paper bag? It's the same paper bag I use for my lunch every day. It carried my lunch yesterday, and the day before that. It carried my lunch last week. And look under here. That's my paper cup. I use it again and again.
Why don't students reuse their cups?
I don't know, but maybe they will see you and think it's a very good idea, and then they might follow you.
I never thought about it like that, Mrs. Canale.
Great! So you'll save the paper cup. Now answer the questions. Number 11. What is the subject of the conversation? Number 12. According to the teacher, what is true about a paper cup? Number 13. What can be inferred about the teacher? Number 14. Why does the teacher show the student the paper bag? Questions 15 through 17. Listen to a conversation between two students at school. Hi, Mark. I heard you were in the principal's office this morning. Did you do something wrong?
No, I didn't do anything wrong. You know I'm a good kid, Bella.
Then why were you in the principal's office? Felix said he saw you coming out of the principal's office, and now everyone is talking about it.
It's not that I did something wrong, but that I did something right. What happened is the principal wants to give me a special award for helping someone. Outside the school this morning, when I got off the bus, there was an old lady with some shopping bags that looked really heavy.
Okay, so what did you do?
She was really struggling hard and I felt sorry for her. She was carrying vegetables and stuff like that, so I walked up to her and I asked her if I could help her, and she was really happy. So I carried her bags for a little bit. I think one of the teachers saw that.
That's really cool. They must be really proud of you, Mark.
Yeah, and the principal said when the lady got back home, she called up the school to say how happy she was. So that's why I was in the principal's office.
Wow, good job, Mark. I hope I can go to the principal's office someday just like you. Now answer the questions. Number 15. Why did Bella assume Mark did something wrong? Number 16. According to the passage, what is true about the principal? Number 17. What happened after Mark helped the old lady? Questions 18 through 21. Listen to a conversation between two students at school. George, welcome to the school radio station. We have a small team. There's just you and me. Last year there was also Paula, but she moved to another school. We will be the school DJs for this term. It's a really fun job. Have you been a DJ before?
No, I've never done it for real before, but I talk a lot and I act like a DJ all the time at home.
Then you'll be great. I have been a school DJ for 2 years, and I've enjoyed every moment. And now that you're here too, it will be awesome. You will bring in some new and fresh ideas.
Thanks for the warm welcome, Wilma. I'm really excited. I have a lot of ideas and know a lot of songs, but I don't know how to use the equipment.
It's pretty easy to use once you get used to it. There's really only one thing to do. If you press this button down, anything you say gets broadcast to the whole school, to the yard, and to the classrooms. And when the button is up, then the music plays. If the button is in the middle, nothing gets broadcast. So we have to be very careful if it's at the bottom. Like the time I was talking about Mr. Francis last year. I thought nothing was being broadcast, but actually it was. We got in a lot of trouble over that. But don't worry, we won't have any trouble. We'll watch that button.
Okay, great. I can't wait for our first broadcast. When is that?
Our first one is this Thursday at lunchtime. You can choose the music. Now answer the questions. Number 18. What are the speakers mainly discussing? Number 19. What can be inferred about the speakers? Number 20. What might the boy prepare for Thursday? Number 21. Why did the girl get in trouble last year? Questions 22 through 25. Listen to a conversation between a student and a teacher at school.
Eva, I think you've got too much weight on this exercise machine. Why don't you try a little bit less weight?
But, Mr. McGee, in class you said that the only way to get stronger is by lifting up heavier and heavier weights each time.
Yes, I did say that, but you have to be careful when you're at the gymnasium. It's a good idea to pick up something that's a little bit difficult, but you don't want to pick up something that's extremely heavy or something you could drop. You could really do a lot of damage to yourself, the equipment, or others around you.
I'm strong enough to carry it.
A lot of people think like that, but sometimes when people lift things that are too heavy and drop them, it drops on their hand or on their foot, and they get injured badly, and we don't want that. Do you want to get injured?
No, definitely not.
So, there are two things you can do in this situation, Eva. You can either take some weight off or you can attempt to lift it, but only with a friend helping you, just in case you aren't strong enough. You've got to think safety first, no matter what.
That's great advice. So, could you help me with this?
Okay, Ava. Just this once, I will.
Now answer the questions. Number 22. What is the main topic of the conversation? Number 23. Why is the teacher concerned? Number 24. What does the teacher suggest? Number 25. What will the teacher probably do next?
Now you will hear some talks and discussions about academic topics. Each talk or discussion is followed by 4 or more questions. Choose the best answer to each question and mark the letter of the correct answer on your answer sheet. You will hear each talk or discussion only one time.
Questions 26 through 29. Listen to a teacher talking in a history class. In 1848, in a valley in Northern California, the American dream began with an event that brought hundreds of thousands in search of a new life. Somebody found gold. The dream? To make a fortune. Rumors of gold just waiting to be found began to pass throughout America, and many were willing to risk everything for the chance to be a part of it. By the winter of 1848, whispers of a gold strike had drifted eastward across the country, but few Easterners believed them. The gold discovery needed to be more than just a whisper, and in early December it was. President James Polk delivered a message that made millions excited. He described an abundance of gold in the far west. And so the gold rush began. Lives were abandoned. Farmers left their fields, merchants closed their shops, and soldiers left their posts. They all went to California. Newspapers describe how fortune lay upon the surface of the earth, as plentiful as the mud in the streets. By early 1849, gold fever had become an epidemic. Discussions of gold could be heard anywhere in the country and outside the country as well. Many foreigners also got caught up in the passion and were ready to make even longer journeys. Chinese, Chileans, Mexicans, Irish, Germans, French, and Turks all traveled to California seeking their fortune. They were dubbed the 49ers because the migration began in 1849. Many never reached California, and most of those who did found not gold but bitter disappointment. They soon discovered that the image painted by the president and the media was very different to the reality of California. Gold was not scattered on the ground for the taking as they had been led to believe. It was there, but gathering it required a serious investment of time, effort, and capital. Now answer the questions. Number 26. What is the main topic of the lecture? Number 27. Whose words got the most people to travel for gold? Number 28. Why does the teacher mention President James Polk? Number 29. What can be inferred from the lecture about the gold rush experience? Questions 30 through 33. Listen to a teacher talking in a science class.
Extinction is a pretty popular topic these days. We estimate that before humans existed, the extinction rate was about 1 in every 10,000 species per year. The best estimates we have for today's level of species extinction is about 1,000 times higher than that. And the rate is expected to rise very sharply in the near future. No wonder we hear the phrase mass extinction so often. But we may be wrong in thinking that extinctions are all because of us, or because of modern civilization. It is true that we have caused the destruction of many plant and animal species over the last century or so. What is happening now is our doing. But extinction on a large scale isn't a problem that started with man, and from one point of view, it may not even be a problem. So, from our perspective as humans, mass extinction is definitely a big problem, and it could end up causing our own extinction. But from the broader perspective of life on this planet as a whole, it might be as much an opportunity as a crisis. I know this sounds strange. How could the extinction of life be an opportunity for life? Let me explain. Extinction has played an active role in the evolution of life for at least 600 million years. Over this huge span of time, there have been 4 or 5 episodes of mass extinction. We believe the largest mass extinction happened about 245 million years ago. It wiped out 50% of all plant and animal species on land and nearly all life in the oceans. Another better-known extinction was the one 65 million years ago that finished off the dinosaurs. But what we're concerned with is what happened afterwards. The sudden elimination of large numbers of species, like the dinosaurs, didn't lead to less biology and diversity. In fact, it opened up new routes for evolution to take. It gave some species, such as the first small mammals, a chance to climb the evolutionary ladder. Those small mammals may never have had that chance otherwise. We, too, may never have had the chance. The key question for us, with all the current extinctions, is whether we'll be around long enough to see what comes out of it. It's pretty hard to say whether we'll be one of the species that survives or one of the ones that disappears.
Now answer the questions. Number 30. What best summarizes the point the speaker is making? Number 31. According to the lecture, what is true about the current extinction rate? Number 32. What was the opportunity spoken about from extinction? Number 33. According to the lecture, what happened 65 million years ago? Questions 34 through 37. Listen to a teacher talking in a class. We all like to see movies, action, romance, or thriller. A lot of movies are produced in Hollywood, and all those stories begin with a script. There are many scriptwriters in Hollywood, and they all have scripts. They want to sell their scripts to a big movie studio. If so, they might make a lot of money and become famous. Scriptwriters send their stories to movie companies. From here, an agent at the movie company reads the script. This person has a special talent for choosing good scripts. But where do movie scriptwriters get their ideas? Movies like Gladiator, Alexander, and Troy are based upon ancient history. The movie Troy is based on the mythology behind the Trojan War. Let me briefly tell you the story. In the city of Troy, near ancient Greece, there was a prince. He fell in love with Helen, the wife of a Greek king, and brought her back to Troy. So her husband took his Greek army across the ocean to Troy. But a huge wall surrounded and defended the city. In the movie, the Greek army sneaks into the city in a big wooden horse. The horse was over 10 meters tall. The Trojans thought the horse was a gift, so they wheeled it through the front gates of the city. Unfortunately, it was a trap. Inside the wooden horse were soldiers of the Greek army. While the Trojans were sleeping, the Greek soldiers secretly came out and attacked the city. If a movie script is accepted, the next step is to choose the right actors for the role. When the movie Troy was being written, the writers wanted a handsome and strong actor to play Achilles, the Greek hero. They chose Brad Pitt. Brad Pitt needed to get in shape for a big fight scene. After they find the right actors and actresses, the movie director and other staff start shooting. Now answer the questions. Number 34. What process is being discussed? Number 35. What is said to be the first step in making a movie? Number 36. Which movie was not mentioned in the lecture? Number 37. According to the lecture, what happens after a script is accepted? Questions 38 through 42. Listen to a discussion in a science class.
So, I think it would be a good time to talk about a special star. Who's heard of Beta Pictoris? Beta Pictoris is a bright star that can only be seen from the southern hemisphere. It's also a fairly close star, if 63 light-years away can be called close. At any rate, it's close enough that some of our larger and more advanced telescopes can make very detailed observations of it. Exceptionally strong infrared energy comes from the direction of Beta Pictoris, the type of energy that usually comes from very young stars. Also, because it was formed only about 20 million years ago, Beta Pictoris is surrounded by a disk, which is a huge collection of matter shaped like a pancake. It is the only star near us that has such a disk. We only expect to see these disks around relatively young stars because if a star is much older, the disk would have already disappeared. All that matter from the pancake would already have turned into planets.
Excuse me, are you saying that a star 20 million years old is young?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. You see, it's important for us to keep things in perspective here. 20 million years may not seem very young, but a star that old is really just in its infancy. That might be a little hard to take in, I understand. But remember that our own star, the Sun, is at least 4.5 billion years older.
Can we see any planets or any signs that planets have begun to form around Beta Pictoris?
That's a good question. There are signs that something is going on. From this, even though we can't actually see them yet, many astronomers are concluding that Beta Pictoris is well along the way to developing its own family of orbiting planets. Beta Pictoris is probably the only place that's close enough for us to observe the stages of planetary formation and the other processes that take place in the first 100 million years of a star's life. That's why it's a special star.
Now answer the questions. Number 38. What is the main topic of the discussion? Number 39. According to the speaker, from where can the star be seen? Number 40. What does the speaker say is unique about Beta Pictoris? Number 41. According to the discussion, how much older is our star than Beta Pictoris? Number 42. What is mentioned about the planets orbiting the star?